but it's okay.
Good afternoon, everyone. Nyia Harris here for Open Book with Nyia Harris. I'm super excited to be here with my guest for episode 15, Keiona Cook, who is the owner of Lovely's Sewing and Arts Collective. Hello, how are you, ma'am?
I am wonderful. How are you today?
It's so good to see. It's been so long. I haven't seen you in so long, right?
I know. Not since Saturday.
Since Saturday, yes. Saturday, we were at Steps for Sleep for My Very Own Bed. Wonderful nonprofit. If you don't know about it, check it out. They are amazing. So usually, Keiona, we talk about pop culture, world events. And let me tell you, it's just been heavy. The last few weeks, it's just been heavy. So we've been avoiding it. And we talk about happy, fun stuff. So if you're good with that, I'm good with that. We're going to talk about happy, fun stuff. So
I'm definitely good with that.
Okay, great. New York Fashion Week. What you thinking? We know people that are there right now. That's why I bring it up.
Yes, we do know people that are there right now. And I know people that have already come back from New York Fashion Week. So one of my models, Carloba, she was modeling for New York Fashion Week, and she just came back and she had a wonderful experience modeling in New York, and she modeled some jewelry. In addition to her modeling for the fashion designer, she also modeled jewelry by another local jewelry designer, Rashonda.
Okay.
So, Pieces of Candy.
Yes. Oh, she was on the show too.
Yeah.
She was like episode 2. So
Wonderful.
that is awesome. That's awesome. So when are we going to see you at New York Fashion Week?
So I don't know when that'll be.
Yeah.
But I have some irons in the fire for me to go to Paris Fashion Week.
Okay.
And I also have some irons in the fire for some amazing things where people will be able to lift up Lovely Sewing and Arts Collective, lift up Quabella Couture, which is my brand as a couture fashion designer.
Yes.
And I'm excited to talk about somebody else uplifting my brand and highlighting the work that I'm doing in community, because sometimes it can feel a little lonely as an entrepreneur, as a designer, as a nonprofit teaching kids how to sew and about entrepreneurship.
Sure.
So it's just going to be an amazing experience with what's coming up in the future.
That's amazing. That's amazing. Well, I'm excited for you, and I will stay tuned. I will definitely stay tuned. We might have to have you back on so you can give us an update. Maybe.
Indeed.
Okay.
Indeed.
Well, what else is going on? I saw I stalked your social media pages, so I know you went on a cruise. So I'm going to talk about that.
So I went on a cruise to Bermuda.
Hey.
I went on my first cruise.
Okay.
So I'm a newbie now.
Yeah.
Well, not as new, but I went on my first cruise through Virgin Voyages, and everybody was like, "Oh, you went on the bougie cruise," and I'm like, "Well, this is my first cruise, so I don't know what's an upgrade or what's a downgrade."
Yeah.
But
You don't have anything to compare it to.
I don't have anything to compare it to.
Yeah.
But I heard that up on Carnival that they be turned. So
Okay.
I still want to go on Carnival
Okay.
and find out just how turned they are.
Okay.
And I also want to go on Royal Caribbean, because I heard Royal Caribbean was kind of like in the middle. So I'm a
Okay.
future cruiser.
Okay, I love that. I love that. Well, your story certainly resonates with me because I'm getting ready to take my first cruise. Yes, I'm going to be a newbie just like you. So we're going end of October.
Okay.
And we're going on Norwegian Cruise Line.
Wow.
So,
okay, I heard that's a good cruise line as well.
So I'm just like you. I don't have anything to compare it to. So I'm excited.
Right.
They've been very detailed and sending us emails. So we'll see how it goes. Well, what else is happening? You said that there was a lot going on this weekend. Selby Jazz Fest was this past weekend.
Oh, that was beautiful. The Selby Jazz Festival. Wow. It was my first time going to the Selby Jazz Festival. Yes, because usually when the Selby Jazz Festival is going on, I'm usually working. Mm-hmm. And just so happened, I wasn't working, so I was able to go.
Yeah.
And it was a really, really beautiful experience.
Beautiful day out.
It was a beautiful day out. But you know what? it felt like a family reunion because everywhere I turned, I was turning into somebody that I needed to embrace and give a hug to.
Yeah.
And it was family. That's what it felt like. So if y'all haven't been to the Selby Festival, go because it feels like home.
Yes. Yes. I would agree with that sentiment. I would walk maybe a few steps and then bump into somebody else that I knew. So, yeah, it was wonderful. And I was able to get my juice. You know, I got the juice, Phil. Oh my gosh. I'm in love with this ginger juice. Have you tried it?
I haven't tried it, but I did get henna.
Okay. Look at you with the henna. Hold it up to the camera there. There you go. Yes. What a time it was. And then you said some other stuff was happening. What else was happening?
So I have, as I said before, I have a few irons in the fire on September the 22nd.
1 week from today.
TJ Maxx will be uplifting my brand, Lovely Sewing and Arts Collective, and also uplifting me, Keiona Cook, as an original through all their social media platforms internationally. So I will get a lot of recognition for the work that I'm doing in the community. And then it's just nice to have somebody pouring into me for a change as a business owner. And I'm just super excited about them uplifting my brand.
Yes. Yes.
And also giving me a mentor because they said, well, what is the one thing that you would want to do as a couture fashion designer? And I told them, I said, well, I would love to be able to design for a red carpet event for Michelle Obama or Beyonce or Rihanna or Issa Rae. Those are my dream clients, right? And so my mentor, who I'm not allowed to say who it is because they're going to announce it on September the 22nd, my mentor has designed for all of these people already for the red carpets. So I'm super excited about being paired with a mentor that can pour into me and help me get to that next level that I want to get to, because really they always say you're really just one person away from whatever it is you want to do for the future. And it's about just putting yourself out there and applying for grants. I've been told no, I don't even know how many times. But it only takes one yes. So just keep going if you feel like giving up.
Oh, that's a perfect message just to park it at. Are you going to stay with me here?
Yes.
Okay, fantastic. We're going to take a quick music break. You've been listening to Power 104.7, your home for hip hop and R&B. All right, listeners, we are back. Nyia Harris here again for Open Book with Nyia Harris. I'm here in studio with Keiona Cook, the owner of Lovely Sewing and Arts Collective. Did I get it right?
Yes.
Okay. You know, it's like a Tribe Called Quest. You got to say the whole thing, right? Okay. So when we left off, you were talking about, I have been told no so many times. Talk about it.
So even if you're not an entrepreneur, no is always an option, right? And as I said before, you're going to get a lot of no's, but and if you focus on the no's and psych yourself out of believing in yourself, you'll miss out on the opportunities for all of the yeses that could be coming, because the no's probably were a good no for a reason, right? And that yes that you were waiting on, that's the perfect yes, because that's going to move the needle a little bit further for you to move further on your personal journey. So the word of advice that I would give to people is, when you get those no's, of course you're going to be a little down and you're going to go through the motions of the no's, right? Because you'll be like, man, well, why they didn't pick me? I thought I was enough. And then sometimes you may have imposter syndrome, but remember that you're enough for the right yes. You're more than enough for the right yes. And a lot of times as Black women, we over exceed to make sure that we have all the credentials. So like if we get a no, it's like, really? We didn't get that yes? Are you for real? Of all the people to tell no, me? But we're gonna get those no's, and it's okay to get those no's. But just focus on the many yeses, and the many positive opportunities you got versus focusing on the opportunities that you didn't get, because a lot of times we are down on ourselves about us not getting those opportunities, and sometimes we'll convince ourselves, oh, that was a missed opportunity, but it wasn't.
It wasn't. So let me ask you this, just kind of piggybacking on that topic though. No's are very discouraging, right?
Yes.
Sleepless nights,
Yes.
tears.
Sleepless nights, tears, and guess what? There's going to be more sleepless nights. There's going to be more days of tears and everything else, because I've applied for so many grants and I didn't get them. And then, you know, when I do get a grant, I'm like, yes, I'm so grateful that I got this grant. I'm so grateful that I was put in position for me to get this opportunity. But like the grants that I got in 2020 or 2021, that money ain't available in 2025. I haven't gotten a grant since then. So for me to be getting opportunities that I'm currently getting in 2025 is just so impactful and so important to the work that I'm doing. I had somebody to say to me, they said, "Oh, you getting all the grants, aren't you?" And I had to tell them, I said, "I haven't gotten a grant since the last time I talked to you, and that was in 2021. And so
Interesting how people perceive certain situations.
they perceive certain situations, or if they come to my teaching space, they'll be like, "Oh man, she must have all the money in the world." Listen, I'm trying to make it just like everybody else. And the reality of the situation is, sewing has been branded as a hobby versus before 1985, it was looked at and it was branded as a trade skill.
Okay, so like a plumber or an electrician, it was a trade.
It was a trade. So now people are looking at sewing as if it's a hobby, but I have to educate people on the gift, the trade skill sewing, because every day everybody has to wear clothes, from the doctors that work on you, if you go to the doctor, from the nurses that take your blood pressure, draw blood from you, everybody has to wear clothes. And until the world goes completely nude, I
don't know if I want to see that yet.
Until the world goes completely nude,
the
job, the career of people that sew needs to be more appreciated. And people need to understand that it's a tool, it's a trade skill that is timeless, because we're always going to be wearing clothes.
For sure. Well, you hear people talk about, when you say timeless, it reminds me of like when people say like timeless pieces in your closet, right? Like
absolutely,
the little black dress and the crisp white dress shirt and things like that, right? So and well-made items do stand the test of time.
Absolutely.
Right? Your mother's, your grandmother's, shirt or dress or whatever, you should be able to wear it. That actually brings me to that was a great tee up, by the way, because I was going to ask you about something in your industry, a facet of your industry, the fashion industry, which is fast fashion. Right. So I'd be curious to hear your take on that. Right. Like, there's been a lot of uproar about that. I just watched a documentary about that not too terribly long ago. A lot of things are ending up in landfills. Right. So do you want to tell our listeners, maybe for those who don't know, what is fast fashion?
So fast fashion is basically ready to wear garments that are produced in factories, and then you can just buy it at Marshall's, you can buy it at TJ Maxx, you can buy it at local retail stores, and multiple garments are made that look exactly alike. That's the difference between fast fashion and me being a couture fashion designer. So I'm making one-of-a-kind pieces for individuals, and I'm curating an experience for them based off of a design that they wanted created. So I'm taking care of them from the inside out. And a lot of times people confuse ready to wear with couture fashion designers. And the big misconception is this: couture garments aren't created overnight. Our turnaround time, now some stuff can be created like really, really quickly, but if you think about really creating a garment for somebody that they're gonna be wearing, we all got different body types.
Yeah.
So your body type isn't the same as mine, so I have to start from scratch. That's taking your measurements, that's creating a pattern from scratch, and then creating a garment for you. But when we go back to ready to wear, I think about how a lot of garments are ending up in landfills, and a lot of the big name fashion designers, sometimes their garments never make it into past production. So they produce the garments. The garments were like, okay, yes, 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 no, no, no. Those 10 or 15 no garments that were created, that were mass produced, they end up in landfills. And the beautiful thing about those garments that end up in landfills is I'm teaching my kids at Lovely Sewing and Arts Collective how to upcycle garments.
Okay.
I'm teaching them how to, if you lose a button on your shirt, you can resew a new button on your shirt. Most men's shirts, they usually come with 2 buttons in the inside of their shirt just in case one button falls off.
Right.
Or it comes at the bottom of your shirt. Same thing with women's blouses. There's usually a couple of buttons where if something comes off, you can redo it. Up in different parts of Africa, they usually make the garments a little bit bigger. That way, if you gain a little weight, you can take the seam out and resew it so it still fits. Here in the U.S., the fast fashion is it fits one size. So if it don't fit, you have to go to the store and buy something new.
Yeah, get another size.
Yeah, so there's so much waste going on. And
Yeah.
I really love the fact that Lovely Sewing and Arts Collective is doing its part to get rid of some of the waste.
I love that. I love that. Well, pivoting just a little bit, speaking of designers, but I'd love to know who you would love to dress, like tomorrow, like in a perfect world, who would you love to dress? Wait, don't answer that question. Don't answer. I know it's going to be a good answer too. You have been listening to Power 104.7, your home for hip hop and R&B. If you enjoyed this episode, you can catch the entire episode in just a couple days on my YouTube channel, which is Open Book with Nyia Harris. I thank you so much for listening. I thank you, Keiona, for being here for the live portion. We'll continue our conversation in just a bit, and I hope you have a wonderful day. Thank you. All right, we are back in podcast mode here. I wanted to read something from your website here.
Okay.
Okay. If you go to lovelysewing.org, under the About tab, I found this under the mission statement: to empower youth and adults by healing mindsets, building bridges, and creating unity through sewing and community-centered programming. Tell me more about that.
So when people think about sewing, sometimes people try to box you in and say, okay, well, this is the only thing that this person does. But at Lovely Sewing and Arts Collective, yes, the foundation of Lovely Sewing and Arts Collective is sewing, but there's also the other components that are a part of sewing. So we're teaching youth as young as 6 years old, teens and adults how to sew. Then it transitions from the kids learning how to sew to them learning about entrepreneurship, learning about marketing, about branding, about public speaking. And the kids are put in situations where they're able to, where we participate in a lot of markets, where the kids are put in situations where they have to rise to the occasion and learn public speaking and learn how to be leaders. So
I got to witness that firsthand.
Yes,
this
you
weekend.
did.
Yeah.
Yep. So the kids are creating products as young as 6 years old. They're selling their products, and they have to talk to the customers about not only the products that they're selling, but they also have to start out by talking about Lovely Sewing and Arts Collective, talking about how long they've been a part of the program, and the items that they've created and how they created these items before they sell them.
I mean, that really lends itself, no matter what age, right, to boosting self-confidence.
Absolutely.
So you're in a unique position where you probably get to see the self-confidence grow?
Absolutely.
What does that
Absolutely.
feel like?
So it feels amazing because I'm able to create a platform. I'm able to be for the kids who I needed when I was a kid. So
Say more about that.
when I was a kid, I needed somebody to push me past vulnerability. I needed somebody to push me to my highest potential is the right terminology. Because sometimes kids come to my program and they're really shy, or sometimes kids come to my program, they might be lazy,
Okay.
right? But the accountability factor comes into play. And sometimes kids come to my program, they may have had behavior issues before, right? But when they come to my program, because I'm so old school and I was raised by my mom and by the elders, because we grew up with my grandmother and my grandfather present, and they held us to a certain level of leadership where we were given the space for us to grow, but also held accountable as we grew, right? So the kids, when they come into the sewing classes, I tell them, like, listen, you're already a leader. I already believe in you. So even on those days where you feel like, I'm having a meltdown, I'm having a breakdown. Guess what? I had those meltdowns. I had those breakdowns. And guess what? I still have those meltdowns and those breakdowns when I'm creating a couture garment and I'm creating something I've never created before, right?
Yeah.
So it's a new experience. So of course, new experiences are going to be hard and can be irritating, can be frustrating. But once you get past that first hurdle of, wait a minute, I created a pair of earrings.
Yeah.
I sold these pairs of earrings
Yeah.
for $60, for $80, for $20. Then
Yeah.
the kids are like, okay, I guess I'm good at this.
Yeah.
I can keep going.
Yeah.
I can persevere. I can push through the hard parts, because on the other end of the tunnel, at the light that's at the end of the tunnel, they realize, okay, Miss Cook, she's strict, but I need this.
Yeah.
I need this structure.
Yeah.
I need all of this, because Miss Cook believe in me. And even though she's strict on me, when I'm done, she's like, yes, you did it. I'm proud of you. All those things.
Yeah. What an amazing thing to witness.
Yes.
Right? Wow. I'm sure you've got stories, and I'm sure you've heard things from parents too,
Yes.
right? Testimonials of,
So many beautiful testimonies.
Yeah.
So I have a young girl in my class now. Her name is Arbery. She's been in the class for a year. She just turned 8.
Okay.
So she started out the class. Well, before she started the class, she did a birthday party with me. So she did a sewing social birthday party for her 7th birthday.
Okay.
And there were 12 little kids, her friends. They all came in. They made pillows.
Okay.
It was a 3-hour session. And the following day was her first day of sewing class. And she's been in the classes ever since. And she was so shy and she's still shy, but she was so shy when she first started the classes. And me being a firm teacher, but still pouring into the kids, she has told her mom on countless occasions, oh, I'm going to be just like Miss Cook when I grow up.
Yeah.
And guess what? She just turned 8. For her 8th birthday party, she taught 16 little kids, including herself, how to make a tote bag.
Oh my gosh.
And just like me, she has a sewing machine in her room. Why is my sewing machine in my room? She has a sewing machine in her room. I moved my sewing machine out of my room now, so it's in my closet. But my closet is really big, so it's like a little sewing space. But her sewing machine is in her room. She's up sewing in the middle of the night.
Oh, wow.
John, who was on your show for Be the Change.
Yes, John Baker, Dr.
Yes.
John Baker.
Okay, so she actually sold up 22 tote bags for her to sell at the event, and she made $125 selling her tote bags
Oh
at
my gosh.
$25 each.
Wow.
And she actually is teaching the kids in her neighborhood how to sew.
That is amazing.
So that's just one story.
That is just one story.
And then we have Lynette, who is, these are just my younger kids, but we have Lynette, who made her Juneteenth outfit for her to model for the magazine. She got up the morning of and made her skirt and did her upcycle the top and made her a headband for her photo shoot for the Juneteenth pageant, and she ended up placing second place for the Juneteenth pageant 2025.
Wow.
There's countless stories. I was just teaching at Franklin STEM Middle School, and I had 66 kids that I was teaching how to sew, and they all were responsible for putting together a patch. And one thing I want to talk about is, like, sometimes our kids are labeled, especially our black boys and our black girls.
Yeah.
And I don't believe in putting labels on our kids,
Sure.
because I believe that our kids just need the opportunity for them to be leaders and for them to rise to the occasion. And I had a couple of little boys up in the classes, and they had what are they called? Monitors, behavior monitors, that they had to sit next to the child to monitor their behavior.
Oh, the adult has to sit next to the child.
They had adults that had to come in. Each one of them had individual adults that had to sit with them. And I said to those adults, I said, listen, you don't need to sit next to my kids, because these 66 kids, they're mine because they're under my care. And they're like, but we have to. I said, listen, in my class, you don't have to. So I would like you to give my kids, they're mine. Even though they're not mine, they're mine. They need space for them to breathe and for them to sew. And guess what? These kids, they thrived. And the behavior specialists, they said to me, they were like, man, we wish you were here full time, because the kids that we have to sit with, that we're supposed to sit with, that these kids, they're thriving in your sewing class. So when they took home economics out of the public schools in 1986, they took out trade skills that our kids could be learning that could help with their cognitive and their motor skills, and help them with patience and focus and learning how to monitor themselves and learning how to be leaders and lead themselves and be surrounded by people that believe in them, regardless to where they are. If you have issues at home, it don't even matter, because I believe in you in this setting. I believe in you when you go home. I encourage you. One of the boys, he had said to me, this is hard. I'm not coming back. I said, yes, you are. And I'll see you tomorrow.
And did he come back?
And he came back.
Okay.
And he finished his patch.
Okay.
And he finished his tote bag. And the kids were just so excited about finishing their tote bags. And most of them were carrying their tote bags around. And they finished their patches. And I was able to present the quotes to them. The 8th graders, I was able to present their quilt when they graduated from 8th grade. And it's just beautiful to see how the kids react, especially the boys, especially the girls, how our kids react when they see us.
Yeah. Yeah.
And we need to make sure that, you know how they say it takes a village to raise a child?
Yes.
It also takes a village to raise a village, right? So we have to remember that we have to keep pouring into the village so that the village can remain strong. So like if you put a tree off by itself, right? and a strong wind comes in, that tree may crack and be broken down. But if you have a bunch of trees together, they can stick together, and when the wind blows, they're holding on to each other. So the chances of that tree breaking,
Slim.
slim to none.
Yeah.
Slim to none.
That's a beautiful analogy. Wow. I would love to be a fly on the wall in those classrooms because I have witnessed you and experienced you firsthand with my own daughter. And I know that you can be firm.
I am firm.
But I think these kids are also looking for that too.
Yes.
I think something that you said that really stuck out is when you said like the focus and like the attention to detail. This is not at all the same thing, but it's in the same vein. The other day I did a puzzle, right?
Yep.
I did a puzzle and like just listened to soft jazz music while I did the puzzle. But I was like, my brain felt so much more stimulated than just being on my phone. And, and I had to reach out to the person who made the puzzle. And I was like, I posted it on Facebook, but I was like, I have not been this relaxed and I don't know how long. And I would imagine that there's a sense of that comes with sewing too,
Absolutely.
right? That you kind of zone out, like that kind of good zone out where you zone out and you're really working on something. And then you can like kind of pull yourself back like, wow, look what I created, you know? So hats off to you, ma'am, and all the work that you're doing. Before I forget, we have to go back to the cliffhanger.
Okay.
We didn't do that.
We didn't?
We were supposed to do that when we came back. But no, I jumped right in, so that's my fault. Who would you like to design a couture design for? Of all the celebrities, of all the famous people out there, who would you like to design something for?
I have 2 people.
Okay.
But I will love 3. Okay. But I will love to design. Top 3. I will love to design. My top 3 are Michelle Obama, Beyonce, and why is her name escaping my brain right now? Viola Davis.
Oh my gosh, I love her. Is that in order then?
Viola Davis would be first.
Okay.
And then Michelle Obama and then Beyonce.
Okay.
But because Viola Davis, her story is just so amazing, and it kind of mirrors my story, and also Oprah Winfrey. So those are my top 4.
Okay.
But Viola Davis and Oprah Winfrey, their stories, their paths kind of mirror mine a little bit.
Yeah.
And to be able to dress women that I really admire and look up to for their strength, for their resilience, and for their impact would just be amazing for me to design for them.
Yeah, yeah. I would imagine really for someone whose story is similar to yours too, like how special that would be.
Yeah.
All 4 of those women that you listed, all very different like styles.
Yes.
Right? And so you could come up with something unique and creative for each and every one of those women.
Absolutely.
Okay.
And when I talk about like being trapped in a box, like people, they come up with these misconceptions of like what you can design and what you can't design. As a couture designer, I can design anything. I've designed just about anything. I've done an internship. Now, don't y'all start calling me talking about come on and reupholster my car. But I did an internship for 6 months with black men that reupholstered the insides of cars. So I do know how to do that. I did an internship with a furniture company. So I do know how to reupholster furniture. But my impact, my heart is in creating beautiful garments for women, because as women we're always busy taking care of all the hearts around us, and many times we forget to take care of our own hearts, and so the opportunity for me to design beautiful garments for women is a privilege for me. And I know it's a two-way street. It's a privilege for them to model and wear my beautiful garments, but it's a beautiful experience for me to see them come alive from the inside out when they're wearing one of my couture garments.
Oh my gosh. So you know the phrase, look good, feel good.
Yes.
You know that phrase, right? So there's something really special that happens when you put on something that fits just right,
Yeah.
or the color is goes with your tone. I'm a dark skinned woman, so like certain colors look great on me. There's some magic that happens there, right?
Absolutely.
You get to be part of that magic.
Yes.
You know, do you remember being a little girl and like putting on maybe a brand new dress and then spinning around in the living room or something like that? Like that's what I kind of think of,
Yeah.
you know? What is that like? What is that like to be part of that magic?
It's like I'm sprinkling fairy dust.
Okay.
Right?
Okay.
I'm sprinkling fairy dust. So you know what? It's like being Cinderella's fairy godmother.
Oh my gosh.
That's what I feel like.
Okay.
I feel like I'm someone's fairy godmother and I'm putting them in the garment of their dreams. That's what I feel like. I feel like I'm empowering them in the piece that they're wearing. And my goal whenever I design anything for anybody is to make them feel like and look like, because they are the belle of the ball.
Okay. You may want to incorporate that somehow. I become your fairy godmother, like however you want to, you know what I mean? Because that you just painted such a wonderful picture with that. So thank you for indulging me there. There was something else that I wanted to ask you. Oh my gosh! Before time gets away from us, I told you time was going to go fast too. You have an event coming up in about 15 days.
Yes.
What do you have coming up?
So in 15 days, I will be having our 16th annual Fall Fashion Show fundraiser.
Okay, say it again. 16th.
16th, because I've been running Lovely Sewing and Arts Collective for 16 years.
Wow.
I founded Lovely Sewing and Arts Collective in 2009, 2010.
Okay.
And so on September the 30th, we'll be hosting the fashion show. And what's beautiful about our fashion show is the fashion show is for everyone. But I don't want people to miss the message.
Okay.
And the message is this. Yes, this is a fashion show. Yes, we're coming to have fun. Yes, we're coming to see beautiful garments. But these beautiful garments were created by the youth that are a part of my sewing program, the teens that are a part of my sewing program, and also the adults that are a part of my program or who I work with in community. And that's local fashion designers, that's local boutiques, like Martin Patrick will be one of the boutiques that's a part of the fashion show. So being able to create a platform for us, especially Black women, Black kids, to be able to have a platform where we're able to share our skills early and not have to wait to be given permission. Like Shirley Chisholm said, I'm going to bring my chair to the table. If there is no table for me, I will create that table. So I've created a beautiful platform where the kids are able to model what they've created and also sell accessories and everything that they've created at the show. So make sure y'all come and shop the vendor tables as well, because there's going to be a lot of items that the kids have made and also partnerships with the jewelry designers who have curated pieces specifically for the runway. So being able to create a space for local artists to be able to showcase what they are doing as entrepreneurs is what we're doing on September the 30th.
Oh my gosh. So I have been to, I think, 3 of your fashion shows now.
Absolutely.
It's a production.
It's a production.
It's a lot.
It's a lot.
What keeps you going back each time to create a bigger and better fashion show?
What keeps me going is what I said in the beginning. I am for the kids who I needed when I was a kid. So to be able to create a platform that's gonna extend way past me, where I'll be able to pass the torch on to the future generations. For instance, Ayana, she's been in the sewing classes for 8 years now. She started off as a student and now she's a paid instructor.
Wow.
So when you all come and support the fashion show, you're supporting the youth that have graduated the program and are now instructors. You're supporting the healthy lunches that we're able to provide for the kids. You're supporting us being in the North Loop in a beautiful, beautiful teaching space, because sometimes our kids need to see something outside of poverty, right? They need to see Black women, Black men in position so that they can dream big. I was in a position for me to see Black women that looked like me when I was a little kid. So it made me dream big.
Sure.
Even though my major initially, I graduated from the Savannah College of Art and Design, so I have my bachelor's in fashion design. I learned how to sew by hand from my mom at the age of 6. So I've been designing since I was 6, and October the 2nd, I'll be 45. Right? Thank you. And then
Happy birthday in advance.
Thank you. And then I learned how to sew on the sewing machine here in St. Paul at a quilt shop called Piece by Piece Quilt Shop by the late Thelma Buckner. Right? So building these relationships and her passing on the torch to me for me to be able to teach the future generations has been so impactful to the work that I'm doing and inspiring to the future generations. So being able to be around somebody that empowers me and inspire my energy continues to help me empower and inspire the future generations. My major initially was architecture. And when I told the lady that lived next door to me in Chicago that I wanted to be an architecture, she said, "Girl, you need to not be an architect, because trying to be an architect is just like trying to be the first Black president."
In Chicago, she told you this.
That's what I was told in Chicago when I was like 6 or 7 years old.
Yeah.
And guess what? We've had a Black president since then.
Yes.
But we don't know about our history. We don't know that there was a Black president even before that. So the thing that I will leave people with is invest in the current community. Invest in the nonprofits. Invest in the future torch bearers, because it's important for us to invest in what's currently going on so that it can keep going on.
Well, you gave me another perfect tee up, by the way. I wanted to ask you, what do you want your legacy to be? Do you think about your legacy ever?
Yes.
What do you want your legacy to be?
So my legacy is around teaching the future generations that they can be anything that they put their minds to. And to surround yourselves with mentors like myself early, so that we can uplift you, hold you accountable, and also pour into you.
Yeah.
So that's what my legacy is. My legacy is uplifting. My legacy is empowering. My legacy is in teaching, but also inspiring the future generations and the current generations that you don't have to give up, because you can surround yourself with the right people and they can help you get from point A to point B. And if point A and point B don't work, we're going to jump to C, D, E, F, G until we get you where you need to be.
I love that. I love that. Well, with just a couple minutes left, what do you want people to know? I know you're all about the kids. You're all about sewing. Like, I have described you this way, by the way. You are a person to me that epitomizes the eat, sleep, breathe their business. Like, I don't think I've ever had a conversation where you didn't bring up sewing.
But I also prioritize my self-care.
Thank you. I was just getting, look at that, all the tee-ups.
I also prioritize my self-care because you can't pour from an empty bowl if you've depleted everything from you. So like, for instance, the grant where I won a grant from TJ Maxx. this grant where they're going to announce it on September the 22nd about me being an original, I said to them, I said, you know,
It's okay. Take your time. I can tell it means a lot to you.
sometimes, many times as entrepreneurs, when we're always pouring into everybody else, people think that because you're smiling, because you're happy, because you're always nicely dressed, that you don't need help. And I said to the people that were interviewing me for TJ Maxx, sometimes I just need somebody to pour into me.
Yeah.
Because as Black women, we're supposed to always be strong. And sometimes we're not given space or room to breathe. And we just keep going because we don't have a choice.
Yeah.
But that's why I'm so grateful for the sisterhood and my brotherhood that I have surrounding me, because they always pour back into me. Kenya McKnight, Nakima Levy Armstrong, Nancy Corso, my sisters, they always pour into me. I can always be my authentic self. I can vent, I can cry. They gonna hold me accountable. They gonna tell me when I'm wrong. They gonna tell me when I got it right. And even after I get through venting, and sometimes I can go being a fashionzilla, they're still gonna say, you know, I heard you, Keiona. Now, let me tell you, let's brainstorm on how you can get from point A to point B. But people need to know that running this nonprofit is not easy. I went to art school. I didn't go to school for business, right?
Yeah.
So it wasn't until after I got out of school that I realized, okay, well, I need to go back for business, right? So being able to be surrounded by people that can pour into you, understand that even when you're running a production, that you're gonna have to be. I'm firm when I'm running my production. I'm hut 2, 3, 4.
Yeah,
because I have to be that way.
Right.
But there's still that softer side of me after I'm done running the production. After I'm done micromanaging 30 models, in addition to me being a producer for the show.
Yeah. You have to wear many hats.
I have to wear like 16 different hats the day of the show. So I tell people in advance that are working with me, listen, I'm going to be a bit of a drill sergeant the day of the show.
Yeah.
But just know it's going to come down. The rain is going to go away, and you'll get back your bubbly me.
Okay. Perfect place to end it. Keiona Cook, thank you so much for being my guest today on Open Book with Nyia Harris. Thank you for being open and vulnerable and sharing that very special message at the very end there about self-care and how important it is.
Yes.
So I appreciate that. So thank you.
And thank you for having me up on the show.
Yes.
And thank you for pouring into all of the lights that you poured into before me. And I'm so grateful for you being put in position for you to do this. So thank you, Georgia Fort, for having Nyia to do this amazing work, because this is the impact. This is what people need to hear about. And you look just like us, and people need to hear our stories. So thank you for coming up with this amazing, impactful podcast, live radio, for people to hear our stories. It's important.
Thank you for that. Thank you. I don't know if I ever got a thank you like that. So thank you. Now you're going to make me cry. Next week, my guest is Rolando Ruiz. Tune in, Keiona.
I will.
He has quite the redemption story. He's been on the news too. I'll just tell you in short that actually, I'm going to leave you in suspense.
Yes.
But he's got a really he's a very charismatic guy. He's got a really impactful story that I think everybody can learn something from. And so tune in next week, next Monday, September 22nd. That's also when we're here, your big announcement. So if I know it before I go on the air, I'll be sure to like share it on air too.
Indeed.
So yes. I think the listeners, I think the watchers, I think Georgia Fort for creating this platform and providing it for me. I think Power 104.7. I think Nate, who is my podcast editor. He's under the weather right now. So Nate, I hope you're feeling better. This has been an amazing ride, an amazing journey. Thank you so much to everybody. And I'll see you next week. Thanks for listening.